Now, Republic leader Graham Smith has vowed to take legal action after he was arrested with 5 other anti-monarchy protesters at the King's coronation last weekend. However, Met boss Sir Mark Rowley said cops targeted a criminal network, including a plot where fake stewards planned to launch bottles of paint at the procession and had received intelligence that protesters planned to use rape alarms to spook horses. Now, many royalists were grateful for the police's no-nonsense approach to the protesters. Lady Victoria Hervey used this show to make a pre-coronation appeal to the cops to stop disruptors from ruining the big day. Watch.
If I was in charge of this coronation, I would arrest all the heads of all of those kind of people that would be protesting. I would put them all in jail, like pre-coronation, and then release them after.
Maybe the Met was listening to Lady V, because tonight we're asking, were police wrong to arrest some Republicans before the coronation? I really want to know what you think on this. It's a controversial one. Dan at gbnews.uk. Vote in our poll at GB News. But to battle it out tonight, I'm joined live in the studio by the aforementioned Lady Victoria and the No More Royals campaigner, Riz Possnett. So, Riz, look, the issue is I completely believe in the right to protest. And on Saturday at the coronation, you were allowed to protest. I believe you were leading the local protest in Oxford. There was absolutely no issue with that. What you've seen lately is with a lot of these extreme groups like Just Stop Oil and Extinction Rebellion, they're not protesting. They like to say they're protesting. What they're actually doing is committing crimes, causing criminal damage, and being eco-terrorists. So can you understand why the police had to make a move on some of these folk?
So, to be absolutely clear, we're never going to agree on whether protest and illegal protest, which has an extensive history in the UK, should be allowed or not, should be criminalised or not. But that's besides the point here. This protest was liaised with the Met Police 4 months in advance, if I'm correctly informed. The Met Police were exactly aware of what protesters wanted to do, where they would be, exactly what would be happening on the day, and agreed to it. Now, they chose to arrest these 6 protesters and a number of other protesters on the day.
Who had rape alarms
because
to
it
spook
became
the
a
horses.
national security issue.
So
that was the problem.
Totally, I appreciate you raising that, because that's a really misleading piece of information that has been shared by a number of news platforms.
You know, you can protest every day of the year.
So the reality is, yes, they arrested a number of night safety officers who work with Westminster City Council to protect vulnerable women in the streets, who had rape alarms to hand out to women. Now,
but if those rape alarms had been used during the day to scare the horses, and also, do these people have a right, Lady V, for example, to chuck paint over the carriage carrying the king?
These are complete hooligans that should be locked up, and I completely meant everything that I said, and I'm so happy that
because there was a lot of pushback from what you said, wasn't there, last week?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, I've had people in the street coming up to me going, well done. We love what
because you're speaking for the majority.
Yeah, like you are a very small number.
Misleading.
No, but
the reality is this is an accurate reflection of the shocking state of democracy in Britain. Now, the laws that were used to arrest these people were pushed through last week. They've been described by the UN as deeply concerning.
But it was a security issue.
Let me just... there was no lawful basis for these arrests and no disruption caused. Now, I would...
Well, no, I look because you guys were not successful.
Well, I really look forward to the inquiry that will be made and the legal case against the Met Police that I expect those arrested will take. Because the reality is there was no disruption planned. And so it's absolutely untrue that the Met Police could possibly have any intelligence that would indicate
no disruption. So why are you protesting if you're not disrupting anything?
That's actually a really good point, right?
Because you're not doing anything. No one cares. No one cares about you guys. You guys are just like
you've raised two really important points there.
They don't care about you.
You believe that Republicans, if they don't like it, should just leave the country?
Yeah, just go somewhere else. You're educated. You're obviously smart. You've had a really good upbringing. You've got.
She's at Oxford University.
Right. You're at the best, and so you're trying to pretend like you're not. You're trying to pretend you're something that you're not.
So I think that's a really interesting point to raise. You've talked about how Lady Victoria has extensively defended the monarchy.
Yeah, but you said on an interview, because I watched one of your other interviews, and you said you like the pomp and the pageantry.
Lady Victoria...
You did. You said that on an interview
grew
that
up
I
in
watched.
Ickworth House, that's correct, right?
When I was a baby.
Yeah, exactly. So
You sound quite
before
posh,
your
by the way.
parents,
You
before your
she doesn't
parents
sound like
went
she lives
to
in
Monaco
Augusta,
to
does
avoid
she?
paying
Well, you're
taxes.
privileged. You're at
I'd
Oxford
just like
University.
You do
hang on,
not
I'd just like to
sound that
finish
you're
this point.
Okay,
living.
just let Riz make the point, Lady V.
Yeah. So you grew up in Ickworth House. I remember.
You sound
I'm from
posher than
Suffolk. I
me.
remember going there as a kid.
Okay, right,
And it's now National Trust, right?
Yeah.
It's a public park. I think
Yeah.
that's wonderful. The reality is, Lady Victoria is obviously going to defend the monarchy because she profits from it. She wouldn't
I
be
don't
here
profit. How
if
do
she.
I profit from it?
Shut up. She
you
wouldn't
just say
be
shut up?
in this position. I'm not here to change her mind. I'm not here to change your mind, Dang,
But you're
because I know
not
your
gonna
stance on
change
the monarchy.
anyone's
The reality
mind.
is British people are shifting towards like
They're not.
not
It's
supporting the
just you
monarchy. We're
kids.
seeing the way these polls are going.
It's just her age.
It's the popular opinion these days.
Okay, let Lady V come in.
I just want to say that I think it is more your age group that is this. It's like trying to be very destructive, causing chaos. But the older generations don't care about you guys. They just look at you like, what are these idiots doing? And that's it.
Do you
Like, they
think
don't-
this generation will grow up and actually start to realise that there is no better alternative to our monarchy?
Yeah, well, look, OK, as an example, the coronation brought in £1.36 billion. Like,
Yeah,
how
so
can-
that's completely
And it only
untrue.
costs
That's completely
150
false
million
information.
maximum. No, this country is...
But Riz, you must accept, though, you must
We would
accept
not- who
that
would-
the
who would
monarchy...
take us
I'd like to hear Dan's
You
question.
must accept that having a living
Who would be
monarchy
president?
that is
Who do you think would be
adored
better than the
worldwide
king?
sparks huge tourism to this country,
Dan,
and it easily
a really
pays for
interesting
itself.
point.
You say that to everything. That's an
Like-
interesting point. You just repeat yourself.
Shut
So
up. Let
who
me
do you
answer the
think,
question.
Who do you
Shut
think
up.
should be
Shut
the
up.
president?
No one cares. Let me answer the question.
Who should be
okay,
president?
I'm not the British public. I'm not going to pick a person. I would
No,
have to
you
pick for a
are.
vote.
You're
Now,
trying to say
be
you are.
quiet. Let me answer the question.
No.
You asked, what was it? Popular monarch. Completely
Yeah.
untrue, right? Charles is not popular. We've
No,
seen scandal after
but
scandal.
I was actually talking about the economic side of things.
Oh, okay, brilliant. Yeah, I'm really happy
And the
to talk
fact that
about that.
actually the monarchy pays for
Yeah,
itself
I'm really
times
happy
over.
to talk about that. So the reality is there's the sovereign grant, which is paid for by the estates. In my view, that should be held by the British people regardless. But that's besides the point, because the sovereign grant is, what, £25 million? The reality is it's more like £345 million a year that they cost us. That's in terms of the money spent by local councils who are massively underfunded. And police operations like this one, which was the
what would you do? Are you one of these folk who says, you know, King Charles should go and pitch up in a council house? Is that
You don't sound like she lives in a council
genuinely-
house, right? She doesn't sound like she lives in
Have you
some
got
sort of...
like a genuine, legitimate argument to make, or are you
I'm
just going to pick on me because
I'm-
you haven't got
I'm
anything better
picking on
to
you
say?
because you're shouting at me, you know?
You're literally yapping over every point I make. Now, I'm not interested in Charles as an individual. I'm interested in like the state of democracy in Britain. I genuinely don't care what happens to him.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure that he's got enough money to sort himself out. The reality is
Lady
we're
Victoria.
in...
Stop
we're
talking
in
just now. I'm going to do a Piers Morgan on you because you don't shut up. So, who would you have as president if we did not
So
have
you've asked
a royal
this
family?
question before.
And you're not
Piers
responding.
asked it too. I've
I
given
know,
you
and you
an
didn't
answer.
respond to Piers either. You
Because
gave, like,
I'm not
some
the British
ridiculous
public,
person.
I'm not going to propose who should
But in
be
your
the president.
ideal
know.
world is an elected head of state.
Yeah, exactly.
But she-
Yeah,
but-
absolutely.
And
so
that's
I would
worked
like
really well for
Do
France
you
and
like
America,
the idea of...
Shut up! Like, genuinely, would you let him ask me a question?
He's asking
Well,
you a
I'm
question.
actually loving this.
Yeah.
I can just sit back and watch you two go at each
do you
other.
want
It's
a
my
minute to
dream.
say whatever you want to say? I can come back to it after. Like, go
I
for it.
haven't been able to speak.
Oh, please do.
So,
Yeah.
so do you think it has worked out very well for France right now, looking at the chaos in France? Do you think it's a good thing that
Can I respond to that question?
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely. France is a republic, and the protests in France are genuinely nothing
Why
to
don't
do
you
with
move
that.
there?
Because I
You would
believe
fit
in
in
British
so well there.
democracy. I genuinely, like, despite the politics
Okay.
here and despite how we treat people here, I believe in the future of democracy in modern Britain.
Okay.
And
Well, look,
can I
we
say this
very
one
much-
last
yes,
point,
final
Dan?
point.
Many people have said this is a once-in-a-lifetime event. The reality is, this guy's
Yeah, it
old.
was.
Charles is on his way out.
Well, you're young.
Oh, I hope not.
You're young,
I
so
hope,
you'll probably see the next
I hope
coronation.
that this is the last coronation in Britain. I truly
Well,
hope.
It's not.
I think,
So
Riz,
think
you're
you
going
should
to be
probably
very
move
disappointed.
To a different country. Yeah.
I think you're going to be very disappointed.
Go move
but
somewhere
obviously,
else.
we hope King William won't be on the throne for a few more years yet.
Right.
That was Lady Victoria Hervey and the No More Royals member, Riz Possnett. So who do you agree with on this? Were the police wrong to arrest some Republicans before the coronation? Lily on Twitter writes, yes, as I believe in the right to protest peacefully. What I would like to see, however, is this kind of force applied to eco-terrorists such as Just Stop Oil, who seem to be allowed to get away with anything. I agree with that. From Jackie, the police in our country are damned if they don't and damned if they do. Honestly, the police need to keep doing the job they are paid for. Sometimes it's not what the public want, but surely public safety is important. And from Steve, there is a time and place to protest, and the King's coronation was not one of them. It was the biggest event in 70 years, and the world was watching. The Met got it right for once. And your verdict is now in. 30% of you believe that it was wrong to arrest some Republicans before the coronation. 70% of you, with Lady Victoria Hervey, saying it was entirely right.